All right, here's a simple 3D modeling challenge for you guys this week. We're going to model the pawn, and we'll do a couple of these chess pieces every single week, and eventually we'll have a whole set. So we're going to use this image as a reference image, so you can right-click it and save image as, and then we'll be importing this into Blender to use, so we can create this guy right here. So if you haven't downloaded Blender yet, here's a link. You can download it with this link right here. Go ahead and choose this one right here and install it on your computer, and then go ahead and open it up. Blender looks like this. It always starts with a default cube. I'll just go over some of the basics for some of you that have not used this program yet. To zoom in and out, you roll your middle mouse wheel. To orbit or look around your object, you push down on your middle mouse wheel and drag your mouse. And to move your whole screen around, which is called panning, you hold shift on the middle mouse wheel. You can move the whole scene back and forth, up and down. So we'll start by also reviewing some of the ways to view our model. You can click on view and you'll see all of these options here. But there's really 3 or 4 that I want you to remember. Number 1, on your number pad, will get you to the front view. Number 3, on your number pad, will show you the right view. Number 7 will show you the top view. And 0 will show you the camera view. So if I go over here and I go to my number pad on the right side of my keyboard and I press 1, that's going to take me to the front of the object. 3 will take me to the side. 7 will take me to the top. And 0 will take me to the camera view. 0 again will get me out of the camera view. And here we go. Oh, one more thing. If you press 5, that will toggle you between perspective and orthogonal mode. So if you look here, numpad 5 will toggle between perspective and orthographic. Right now you can look and you can see these squares are in perspective mode because they're starting to get smaller and smaller and smaller as they go on. It gives you perspective and it makes it look 3D. So if you check, it actually shows it right here, perspective mode. If you press 5, it puts it in an orthogonal mode, and then now the squares are all evenly distributed. So if I go to 1 and I press 5 for orthographic, everything looks flat and it's going to be a little bit easier to work with first. So we're going to start off by deleting this cube. Press X on the keyboard or delete on the keyboard and then confirm by clicking delete. And we're going to add an image as a reference. So we're going to open the viewport panel, and we're going to go to where it says background images. Click the little triangle, check the box, and choose add image. Scroll down through middle mouse wheel, click open. My image was saved on my desktop, and I can't really see what these are very well, so I'm going to go ahead and click this button right here. And I see, oh, there it is right here. I'll zoom out a little bit with my middle mouse wheel. And this is the one that I want to model today. So I'm going to go ahead and shift this image all the way over so I can focus on this one. I'll put it in the center of my screen. So go back down to where my image was, and I can click this little arrow. And this will move the entire image to where I want it to be. So that cursor, I'm going to put that right smack in the middle there. Let's see, negative 4.3. Negative 4.4 is a little bit too far, so let's go negative 4.35. That looks about right. I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and model this shape. And I'm going to show you the way that I think is the most simple way. But the other way is just to take one vertex point and trace around this shape. And then we're going to use a modifier called the screw modifier. So we're going to go ahead and put in a plane. And we're going to delete all of that plane except for this one point right here. All right, so I'm going to go create, and I'm going to choose a plane, and you'll see it's facing the wrong direction, so we're going to need to go to tools and rotate that plane, or I can just use R on my keyboard to rotate it by 90 degrees, so I'll type in 90, and then I need to choose the axis that I want, X, Y, or Z, and I'm going to choose X, so you can see that's what I actually put in. Enter to confirm, and then we're going to scale this plane because it's way too big. I'm going to drag it up to the top. I'm going to slide it over, and I'm going to line this vertex point right there. You can see on the Y location it's at 0. And I'm going to delete all the other vertex points. So if I go to edit mode, I can edit this plane. I can right click to select each vertex and delete by pressing X on the keyboard, vertex, right click, X, vertex, right click, X, vertex, and I'm left with this one vertex point. Now in tools, I'm going to be using the extrude option. So I'm going to extrude. I press E to extrude, that's my shortcut. And the more times you extrude and the closer you can stay to the line, the better off you're going to be. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to go fast here. Doesn't have to be perfect. E to extrude, E to extrude, E, I'm moving my mouse, E, and then I click to confirm, E to extrude, E, E and click, E and click, E, click, E, click, all the way around. It kind of goes off here. I'm just going to guess where it's at. All right, and then I'm going to come straight over here, try to make it nice and flat bottom. And then I'm going to right click on this vertex, and I'm going to hold shift and right click on this vertex so I can get them both, and press F to fill it in. Now I'm going to press A to select all of them. I'm going to use a modifier called the screw modifier. I don't need this menu anymore, so I can shrink it, push it back in, go to the wrench, choose add modifier, and find the screw modifier. And you'll see, oh my gosh, that looks crazy. The axis for the screw modifier was on the wrong point, so we don't want it on Z, obviously. Let's change that to 0. Let's try Y. Okay, and that did not work. I think what we need to do is not select all this, we just need to choose the axis with which to rotate our shape around. So I'm going to just close that. Let's try this again. So instead of choosing all of this, we're going to choose this center line here. So I'm going to hold shift, get this one, and we're going to rotate all the way around that and see what that does. Wrench, add modifier, screw. Okay, that's not the Z axis that we want. Let's try the Y axis. All right, looks like X, we want to be 0. Y, we want to be 360. Let's try that. Hi, baby boy. All right, so press A to select all your vertex points. Click the wrench, click add modifier, choose screw, and it's going to look all wonky because it's actually rotating around the wrong axis. It's rotating around the Z axis at this point. We don't want it to rotate around the Z axis. So you can see this is how it's rotating like this. If I change the angle, you can see that it's rotating that way. So I'm just going to change the angle to 0 on Z, and we'll choose the right axis. We want to rotate on the Y axis. So if I click in here and I drag, I can kind of see where it's going now. And it'll go all the way around the center. And we want it to go 360 degrees to make a complete shape. And we'll choose smooth shading. And we'll click apply. Put it back into object mode and then click apply. So if you orbit around, you can see that's what you have. It's a little bit rough, so what we'll do is we'll add another modifier. We'll add a subdivision surface, and we'll change the view. You'll see that's going to sharpen up the image. And in object mode, we'll also choose smooth shading. And that right there is a pretty good creation of a pond.